So now we will take sums on triple integration. Again, there are two types of sums on triple integration. First type is when the limits are provided, and another type where limits are not provided. So let us take simple type first, where the limits are given to you and you have to evaluate the integration. Okay, so the sum says evaluate 0 to 1, y square to 1, 0 to 1 minus x. Simple integration, you have x dy dz. So same as you did in double integral, first we check the innermost limits. Always we check the innermost limits, and now the innermost limits, we can see that the innermost limits are 0 and 1 minus x. Since the innermost limits are 0 and 1 minus x, we will have to decide with what we need to integrate first, right? So you have two options. Since you have x it in terms of x, and look at the outer limits, then the outer limits are y square and x. So there are three variables x, y, z. So if you look at the innermost variable, it is 0 and 1 minus x. So if I take this as limits of z, so my z is done, right? And it is x dz. So first if I integrate with z, now my outer limits will be y square. Obviously, since it is y square, it becomes a sum of double integration. So that will be x is equal to y square and x is equal to 1, right? So obviously what remains last, the outermost limits will be for y. So it's not always in the order. It is that you have to decide with what to integrate first. Same as the double integration, we will divide this integration. Since this is the first sum, we will divide this integration in I1, I2, and then we will substitute back in I. Okay, so if you can do it directly, obviously that is one way. But since this is first sum, we'll do it by I1 and all that. So first consider the single derivative I1, right? So now x is a constant that will come outside the integration. So the answer will be 1 minus x. Again, let us substitute this and let us consider this I2 as, what are the next limit, y square and x is equal to 1, and the answer that I have got, x as 1 minus x dx. You can always open the brackets. So that is y square 1 x minus x square dx. So if I integrate this, that will be x square upon 2 and this will be x cube upon 3. The limits of integration are y square to 1. So now you will substitute the upper limit first, that is 1 by 3, and then the lower limit, that is y raised to 4 upon 2 and y raised to 6 upon 2. By laws of indices, y square cube is y raised to 6 upon 2. So this is what you have got as the answer of I2. So now final integration I, you will substitute this integration over there. So substitute in equation number 1. You will get I is equal to, limits are 0 to 1, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 minus y raised to 4 by 2 plus y raised to 6 by 2 dy. I guess you can do this integration, right? It is not difficult for you. You can easily do this integration. Okay, so let us integrate this. The limits of integration are 0 to 1. So that will be 1 upon 2y minus 1 upon 3y minus y raised to 5 by 2 plus y raised to 7 upon 7. Okay, and here you have y raised to, here above what you have got, y raised to 6 upon 3 you have got. Okay, so y raised to 6 upon 3, so that is y raised to 7 upon 21. So the limits of integration are 0 to 1, right? So if I substitute the limits, that will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 21. Okay, so after simplifying, you can check the answer is 4 by 35. This was a simple sum that I took. Let us take one more sum where limits of integration are directly given to you. Okay. Let us take the sum. Minus 1 to 1, 0 to z, x minus z to x plus z. It is x plus y plus z, dx, dy, dz. Now look at the innermost limits. Here, the innermost limits, you can see there are three variables, x, y and z. Three variables, x, y and z. So now you can see innermost variables has two variables already, x and z. So x and z are already used by the innermost variable. That means, of course, the innermost variables are y is equal to x minus z to y is equal to x plus z, and you have to integrate with respect to y first. This is very clear from the innermost variable. Next, since y is used, you have now two variables, x and z. Look at the second variable. Second variable is 0 and z. So obviously it will be x is equal to 0 to x is equal to z, and you have to integrate with x later. Next, lastly, what remains is y is used, x is used. So last what remains is z. So this outermost variable will be for z. So that will be z is equal to minus 1 and z is equal to 1. Right? So this is my first integration that I have to solve. Let us again assume as I1 and I2. So I1 here will be y minus z, y is equal to x minus z to x plus z. The limits of integration are these, and the integrand is x plus y plus z dy. So let me integrate this. Now you know that x plus z is constant. So you can take that constant in one bracket, right? And then you can write y, because anyway it is a constant. So constant, you know the integration for constant will be x plus z into y, and integration of y will be y square upon 2. The limits are x minus z to x plus z. Fine. So now if you get confused in what to substitute the limits, go in the reverse way. I have integrated with respect to y, so I will substitute the upper limit and lower limit only in y. Okay, since I have integrated with y, so I will substitute the upper limit and lower limit in y. So let us substitute the limits. So you'll have x plus z into x plus z, that is square. Then x plus z the whole square by 2. I have substituted the upper limit. Then I will substitute the lower limit, x square minus z square, a plus b, and a minus b is a square minus b square, and here you'll have x minus z the whole square by 2. So this will be my answer of I1. Now what I will do, I will substitute this, and now I will substitute this my equation 1, and I will consider the second integration I2. Now second integration I2 is with respect to 0 to z, right? And this whole answer as it is, x plus z the whole square, x plus z the whole square by 2, x square minus z square, and x minus z the whole square by 2. Now the limits are 0 to z, and you have to integrate with x. So let me integrate this. So that will be x plus z the whole cube by 3, right? So that will be x plus z the whole cube upon 3, because it is upon 3, minus x plus z the whole cube upon 6. Then if I open these brackets I can open this a plus b the whole square. I can open this bracket and then simplify this. Okay, so let me open the brackets and simplify. So let me integrate this. This will be x plus z by 6 you will have, and let me open the bracket. So that will be x cube by 3 minus z square x, right? And again this will be x minus z the whole cube by 6. So this will be my integration, right? I can add these two. So if I add this 2, I will get 3 by 2 x plus z the whole cube by 3 minus x cube by 3. So sorry, this will be minus minus plus z square x and minus x minus z the whole cube by 6. The limits of integration are 0 to z. So let me substitute the limits. My answer for I2 will be 3 by 2. If I substitute the upper limit, that is z plus z will be 2z cube, right? So if I simplify this, let me substitute the upper limit. Z plus z will be, if I substitute the upper limit, this will be the answer. Okay, and if I substitute the lower limit, you will have 3 by 2. So in place of you have to substitute, in place of x you have to substitute, so that will be z cube by 3 and everything will be 0, right? So if I simplify this, I will get 4z cube minus z cube by 3 plus z cube by 2 plus z cube by 6. Now let me substitute in the final integration I. So my final integration I or I3 will be minus 1 to 1 4z cube by 3 plus z cube minus z square by 2 plus z cube by 6 dz. So if I simplify this, this will become 13z cube by 3 dz. So if I substitute the upper limit and the lower limit, anyway the answer is going to become 0. So my final answer for integration is 0. Okay. Next sum. Evaluate 0 to 2, 1 to z, 0 to yz, xyz, dx, dy, dz. Now, please identify the limits of integration. I won't do now I1, I2. I will do the sum directly because we have done many sums like that. So, outer limits are constant, inner limits are in terms of z, and the innermost limits are in terms of y and z. Since y and z are there, so obviously this will be x is equal to, right? And you have to integrate with respect to x first. Next, what remains if x is used? Either you integrate with respect to y or you integrate with respect to z. So that is your choice with what you have to integrate. Okay, so let me integrate with y first. And lastly, I will integrate with z. So let us solve this. So I'm doing it directly. The innermost limits we are integrating with respect to x. So that will be 0 to 2, 1 to z. You can take yz common, okay, because you are integrating with respect to z. So yz is taken outside. Here you'll have integration of x is x square by 2. This way. Now since 1 by 2 is a constant, that can be taken outside the integration. Okay. So you will have yz and yz. That will be y square z square. So yz into y square z square. dy dz. Now you have to integrate with respect to y. So I am just keeping my y terms and I am shifting my z terms to the other side. So 1 by 2, 0 to 2. My z cube will come outside the integration because we are integrating only with y. Right? So this will be my next integration. So I will get 0 to 2 z cube. I will have y raised to 4 upon 4 as the limits of integration are 1 and z. So my final integrand now will become, after if I substitute the limit, z raised to 4 minus 1 and 4 can be taken outside. Okay, so this is final integration I that I am doing is 1 by 8, 0 to 2, z raised to 4 and z raised to 3 will be z raised to 7 minus z raised to 3 dz. So that's a simple integration now. So if I integrate, that will be z raised to 8 upon 8, z raised to 4 upon 4. The limits of integration are 0 to 2. So if I substitute the limits and simplify it, I will get the final answer as 7 by 2. Okay. Take the next. 0 to 1, 1 minus x, 1 minus x minus y, 1 upon x plus y plus z plus 1, the whole cube. Again the same logic. Look at the innermost limits of integration. Now innermost limits of integration are in terms of x and y. That means those limits are for z. Okay, so the innermost limits are for z because there are in terms of x and y. So you'll write the innermost limits in terms of z. Next, it is for y. And last, it is for x. So we will integrate first with respect to z. So let me integrate that with respect to z. I will have 0 to 1 and 0 to 1 minus x as it is. Integration for this is x plus y plus z plus 1 the whole square. Okay, and the limits of integration are 0 and 1 minus x minus y. So let me substitute the limits of integration. Right, minus 1 by 2 you can take outside. So 0 to 1, 0 to 1 minus x. First substitute the upper limit. Where I have to substitute, I have integrated with z, right? So the limit should be substituted in z only. So wherever I have z, there I will substitute the upper limit and the lower limit. Okay, so let us substitute the upper and lower limit in z. So I'll get 1 upon x plus y as it is. And in place of z, you will have to substitute the upper limit. So that will be this way. Okay, and it is the whole square. This is my upper limit. Now my lower limit, that is 1 upon x plus y, 0 and 1 the whole square. So this is what I have substituted, the upper limit and the lower limit. Now if I simplify this, what do I get? X plus y, and this xx will get cancelled, right? And yy will get cancelled. So you will be left with just 1 upon x plus y plus 1. So now I will have to integrate this with respect to y. So let us integrate that. You will have, first let me simplify. What do you have? 0 to 1. 0 to 1 minus x. This will go away. You will be left with 1 minus 1 upon x plus y plus 1 the whole square. We will integrate with y now. Okay. And last I am going to do with x. So if I integrate with y, so I will have 0 to 1. Let me integrate with y. This will be y minus will become plus. So I guess you're having this 4, okay? So because 1 and 1 is 2 and 2 square is 4. So that will be y by 4 plus 1 upon x plus y plus 1. Okay, now the limits of integration are 0 and 1 minus x. Now we have integrated with respect to y. So wherever you have y, there you will substitute the upper limit and the lower limit in the next step. So let us substitute the upper limit and the lower limit in the next step. So I will have upper limit as 1 minus x. Okay, and this as 1 upon x plus 1 minus x plus 1. Fine. Next, what do I have? Lower limit. So this will be 0 and this will be x plus 1. So if I simplify this further, you will be left with 1 by 2. So this will be what? Integration 0 to 1. 1 minus x by 4 will be as it is. Right? So this xx will get cancelled. You will be left with 1 by 2. And 1 upon x plus 1 as it is. Now simple integration remains. Let me integrate this with respect to x. So minus 1 by 2. 1 integration is x by 4. X integration is x square by 2 and 4 will become 8. This will be x by 2 and this will be log of x plus 1. The limits of integration are 0 to 1. So if I substitute the limits of integration, I'll have 1 by 4 minus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 2 minus log 2. Okay, so after simplification, my final answer for integration I is minus 1 by 2, 5 by 8 minus log 2. You can check the answer whether you're getting the same. Okay, so this is the answer for the integration. Let us take another example where the limits of integrations are provided. So you will have 1 to e, 1 to log y, 1 to e square, e raised to z. And inside it is log z dx dy. Now here the innermost limits depends on the x and the middle limit depends on the y. So integrating with respect to z first. Okay, so you will have to integrate this with respect to z. So this is, we will integrate, I'm considering this as I1 and I2 again. So first integration I1, I will consider 1 upon e raised to x is there. So I'll have to integrate with z, because you can see this will be limits for this z, right? The innermost limits will be for z, and then these limits will be for x and then with y. This is how you'll have to integrate. So 1 and e raised to say log of z dz. This is how you will integrate first. Now by parts, you know that logarithm you will multiply by 1 and use by parts rule, right? So this will be, you use the by parts rule, z log z. The limits are 1, sorry, it's not 0, the limits are 1 and e raised to x minus integration of 1 to e raised to x, 1 का डेरिवेटिव z और log z का 1 by z dz. This is your by parts, right? So let us substitute the limits. You will have e raised to x log of e raised to x minus log of 1 minus, you will have z, and the limits are 1 and e raised to x. So you will have the answer as e raised to x, and this will be x, because the answer for this will be x. Again, this is 0. So you will have minus e raised to x, minus minus will become plus 1. So this is my answer for innermost integration. Now I will consider the next integration, I2. So next integration I2 will be for 1 and log y. This same thing you will write the answers that I've got, e raised to x plus 1, right? And now the integration is with respect to x. Okay, so again by parts we'll have to use. Let me separate this, e raised to x and x minus e raised to x. I'll do by parts. E raised to x integration is anyway going to be e raised to x. I'll do it directly by parts rule. So e raised to x can be written as x into e raised to x minus e raised to x into 1. This is your by parts. Minus e raised to x integration is e raised to x, and 1 integration is x. So this will be 1 and log y, right? So if I substitute the limits, you will get e raised to log y and log y minus 2 plus log y minus e raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. So this will be your integration with respect to x. So this is the answer for I2, okay, which can be written as what? Y log y minus 2 plus log y plus e minus 1. And then we can simplify this further. This will be y plus 1 log y minus 2y plus e minus 1. So this I2 answer now, I will substitute in 1 and get the answer for integration. So this will be last integration 1 to e y plus 1 log y minus 2y plus e minus 1 dy. So this is my integration with respect to y. So again by parts we'll have to use over here, right? For this integration again by parts. This will be simple y square by 2. This will be e into y. For this I have to use LIATE rule. Okay, so u into v by parts. So let me use that rule properly. You can do in rough and then you can write if you cannot do directly. Okay. This is 1 and e, and this will be integration of 1 to e. This will be log y का derivative 1 upon y और उसका integration y square by 2 plus y dy. ये हो जाएगा by parts, right? After that the integration for this, so that will be minus 2y square by 2. Okay, the limits we'll write separately for this also, 1 and e, and then e minus 1 by y. The limits are 1 and e. Okay, so I have integrated the whole part. It's a bit lengthy although, but if we use by parts properly, the answers will be correct. So let us substitute the upper limit first. So that will be log e square by 2 plus e minus log 1 by 2 plus 1 minus, now substitute the limits over here. First integrate this, so that will be what, y square by 2 and one more 2 is there, 4 plus y. The limits are 1 and e, right? And now these integrations, so that will be e square minus 1 plus e minus 1 into e minus 1. So after simplification, you know that log e is 1. So e square by 2 plus e minus, let me open these brackets, e square by 4 plus e minus 1 by 4 minus 1. So that will be minus e square plus 1 plus e square minus 2e plus 1. Right? So final answer I integration will be e square by 4 minus 2e plus 13 by 4. I have directly simplified and written the answer. You can simplify on your own and check back the answer. Okay, the sum was a bit lengthy because 3 times I had to use by parts. Now let us take the sum where we have to use polar coordinates. Right? So now the limits are given to you, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, dx, dy, dz, 1 plus x square plus y square plus z square, the whole square. Now if you look at the sum properly, it is difficult to integrate in the Cartesian form, which is really impossible. So now you have to convert this into polar. So spherical polar coordinates, you know what are there? R is equal to sine theta cos phi. R is equal to sine theta sine phi. And Z is equal to R cos theta. These are my spherical polar coordinates. And the limits now for x, y, z, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity will be something like this. It is a 3-dimensional plane, x, y and z. Okay, so that will be a positive quadrant of this 3-dimensional plane. It is difficult to show on this 2-dimensional paper, but somewhat like this, right? So if I take a radial strip of this, the limits you can easily note down. So the limits, the polar new limits now, the region of integration is the positive octant of the plane. And you know that the positive octants of the plane, the limits are, for r it is 0 to infinity, for theta it is 0 to pi by 2, and for phi it is 0 to pi by 2. Okay, so now my integration I, that is, what is my original integration? 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, dx dy dz 1 plus x square plus y square plus z square, the whole square, can be converted into 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2 and 0 to infinity. Okay, this can be written as r square sine theta dr d theta d phi, and this can be written as 1 plus r square the whole square. So after you convert into spherical polar, this is what you will get. Now let me integrate this. So after you integrate this, first this is your integration I. So I have to consider I1 as 0 to infinity r square 1 plus r square the whole square, because rest all will go in the outside the integration, because first we are integrating with respect to r. So rest all will go outside the integration. Next you integrate with respect to theta, and next you integrate with respect to phi, right? So here you can use some trigonometric substitution if you want, or you can do by some other way also. I am substituting r is equal to tan t. If r is equal to tan t, dr will be sec square t dt, right? But I need to change the limits also, because since the variable changes, I have to change the limits. The limits for r is what? The old limit 0 to infinity. This is 0, this is infinity. Now new limits for theta I'll substitute over here. If I substitute r is equal to 0, I'll get the value as, what value do I get? 0, yes. If I substitute r is equal to infinity, I'll get the value as pi by 2, correct. So now my new limits will be 0 to pi by 2, r square, that means tan square t, 1 plus tan square is sec square, the whole square, and dr is again sec square t dt. So one sec square will get cancelled, and if you simplify this in your sine upon cos, and this is 1 upon cos, so sine will get cancelled, you are left with sine square t dt. So sine square t dt, you use the reduction formula, right? So after you use the reduction formula, what will be the answer? 1 by 2 pi by 2 or whatever. So this is the answer for my innermost integration I1, right? Now this answer I will substitute in 1. So if I substitute in 1, now my integration will be converted into double integration, and I guess you can do that double integration orally also. So you will be left with 0 to pi by 2. Inside what do you have now? Sine theta you have, and d phi, and pi by 2 is the answer that you have got. So anyway, pi by 2 will come outside the integration, right? Sine theta, if you solve this sine theta, the answer will be 1, and for phi will be pi by 2. So the answer, final integration, after you solve the final integration,